We're back, and for those of you who emailed us, thank you for asking. Yes, we are still alive. Last week, ESA astronauts traveled to an underground system of caves in Italy for a 2-week course they call CAVES, which stands for Cooperative Adventure for Valuing and Exercising Human Behavior and Performance Skills. I mean, essentially, it's like an intense team building exercise. Like, who wants to do a trust fall in a cave? Deep within the caves, the team tested a new type of drone that is built to withstand collisions. It's called the Elios from Flyability, and it's a drone tucked safely into the center of a carbon fiber shell, which allows it to fly in and chart confined spaces. The drone was equipped with infrared and optical cameras and was launched into a 100-meter high vertical tunnel. 2 pilots, one working the cameras and the other flying the drone, searched the tunnel for hotspots and mapped areas of the cave that have never been seen before. The drone performed 9 flights inside this dark abyss without crashing, even though the air currents formed enough condensation to make it seem like it was constantly raining inside the shaft. The test flights were part of an ESA strategy that sees humans and robots working more closely together to explore and build settlements on planetary bodies, and it looks like Elios might play a significant role, particularly once it can operate autonomously. I mean, just like Dr. Fifield's pups in Prometheus. I mean, although, things just really did not work out too well for him. I mean, but his pups made it through. Him, though.
There's excitement in the air.
Last week, Rambo made another appearance. Thankfully, it wasn't a new installment in the long bloated movie franchise, but rather another look at the proof of concept rapid additively manufactured ballistics ordnance, or Rambo, that made news earlier this year. The grenade launcher, which was made at the Armament Research Development and Engineering Center at Picatinny Arsenal in New Jersey, was on display at the Department of Defense-sponsored Lab Day at the Pentagon. According to the Army News Service, a 3D printed grenade launcher shouldn't really be the headline. Rather, the focus should be on the ability to 3D print replacement parts for soldiers while they are on the battlefield. Soldiers could soon see the Army's new rapid fabrication via additive manufacturing in the battlefield, or RFAB, in the battlefield. The RFAB is a portable facility with a bunch of different commercial 3D printing technologies that will be used to manufacture parts as they are needed to replace broken gear. In August, RFAB will be upgraded with Raptor, a software catalog that includes CAD files for 500 of the most frequently broken parts. A bit further into the future, soldiers will be able to use 3D printers to actually customize their own weapons.
Let it go. Let it go.
There's excitement in the air.
Boeing and DARPA are going to design, build, and then fly an experimental vehicle that they hope will provide aircraft-like access to space. The vehicle is part of the Experimental Spaceplane, or XS-1 program. I mean, not to be confused with the legendary radio program X-1.
NBC's award-winning science fiction series X-1. Now escape to a world of the future.
I mean, that is a classic and it still holds up today. They call the craft the Phantom Express, likely because it's coming out of Boeing Phantom Works, the advanced prototyping arm of the defense and security side of Boeing. Boeing will now begin work on the autonomous and, more importantly, reusable spaceplane that should be about the size of a business jet. The craft will take off vertically and be capable of launching small satellites, which are about 3,000 pounds, into low Earth orbit. It would then return to Earth, where it would land on the runway to be prepared for the next flight. The idea is that it would be serviced much like a Delta flight trying to make a quick turnaround in Detroit. The hope is that they can do it for $5 million or less per launch, which is actually a fraction of the cost of current military launch systems. The spaceplane will be powered by an Aerojet Rocketdyne AR-22 engine, a version of the legacy Space Shuttle main engine, and use liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen fuel. To prove the concept and the viability of the quick turnaround, Boeing and DARPA actually plan to conduct a demonstration of 10 flights over 10 days, with the final flight delivering an actual payload. But that's not until 2019, and it's going to be interesting to see just how far SpaceX advances their autonomous rockets over the next 2 years. I'm David Manti. This is Engineering by Design.